Hey guys, here in the idea room here at Alluring Glass, we've got all sorts of fun ideas happening back there. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was just one of the latest things that I've been learning from David Booz, as he's been teaching me a bunch about doing operations here at Alluring Glass. And so one of the things that I talked about last week was the couple questions that I was asking were why and how, right? Why does your company exist, or why does the company that you work for exist at all, right? And how are they fulfilling the mission of the why? And two great questions to ask, obviously, and so that's been super fruitful to consider that. But moving on from that, one of the things that you've probably heard if you've been around a small business, for any length of time, you've probably heard this phrase, core values, right? And the idea of a value being what is most important to that company, right? What is the thing that, like, if you got rid of everything else, these things must remain for us as a company to exist or function? What are those things? And it's been great to ask those questions because they're, as the company changes, as there's new ideas and ways of doing things, new people, right? Having something that anchors the company is huge, right? Like, what's going to carry you 2, 5, 10 years? So they're huge. And they're also used for many other things, like who's going to join your team? Do they fit in with those core values? So I was challenged by Booz to ask, what are those core values in the company? And the next question was really interesting. He said to me, or he asked me, what are your personal core values, right? And I don't think that's a question that people ask of themselves. I know I'm not thinking that way all the time, right? Like, take inventory of what are my personal values, why do I exist and what makes me move, right, daily. And so it's been interesting to be challenged in that way and kind of curious why and how do these two things, my personal values and Alluring Glasses, like what's the deal there? And the third piece to this is to seek and to understand, how do they mesh, right? How do your core values mesh with the companies, right? Like, and if your core values don't match the companies, then it might not be a good fit. But a really cool thing kind of came out of doing this sort of going through asking these questions, which is, in many ways, my personal core values line up with the company, right? And for you, probably what you're seeing or experiencing is that your core values oftentimes will naturally fit, right? If they're good core values, they're probably going to naturally fit with the company that you're working for. But here was something cool. You have unique values that the company may not find to be the most important, right? For example, having fun, like that is, that's important to me, and that might be important to you, but for a company, like, that might not be the most important thing. But considering how, as long as it doesn't take away from the core values of the company, considering how those personal core values, like how you're able to uniquely impact the company because of things that are important to you, and just taking inventory of that, right? Am I lining up with the company? And then what can I add that is going to be different? And I think those two questions and that whole process of thinking through it like that has been super helpful for me, as I'm still learning to get a grip on Alluring Glass and what we do here. But also, I think just a good practice no matter where you are, right? Like, whether it's, here at Alluring Glass, right, with us, or if you're doing, whatever it is that you're a part of, knowing those values and personally and for the company, and seeing how they intersect and how you add some personal unique touches as well. So hopefully some of these thoughts have been helpful for you, and more to come. Thanks.